Really has.
No, he has you.
Corny much?
I'm just saying.
I flirt the same.
Thanks. But it's just not that easy.
That was my first kiss.
I'm gonna go
In life.
on that new routine. See you tomorrow.
Bright and early.
Yeah.
Wow. I was about 12 in that clip, 12 years old, yeah. You know, I think a lot of times, especially when you start out acting as a kid, you don't really realize that your emotions and your action is still happening. Whether you are, you know, whether you're acting or you're being yourself, you're still going through the motions of it. So even though that wasn't like my real first kiss, it was still my actual first kiss. I remember having a conversation with, I think it might have been the director or somebody I was working with on the film at that time that just told me that I don't have to own it as that, and that, you know, I can separate the two, and kind of, I think, introducing to me the boundaries that you have to have between yourself and your characters. But it was, you know, it was my first kiss, and it was just so, I remember just feeling excited, and it was cool because I had a cool person to kiss. Corbin's pretty good looking. But at the same time, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. You know, I'm 12, I'm a little kid really. So it was a bunch of different things. The most fun part about this movie was that I was around my peers, like people my age, and sometimes working as a child actor, a lot of times the things that you may do won't involve other children, and you may be the only kid in the whole script. So I really loved that. Like, Jump In was one of the most funnest sets I've ever worked on for that reason.
Number 7.
She's here.
3.
Oh my gosh, I'm so little.
Thank you. I was about to start tap dancing.
Yeah. JR.
Okay. Pluviosity.
Can I get a definition, please?
Pluviosity means
Angela, good too.
characterized by much rain.
Yes.
My gap.
Pluviosity.
I miss my gap.
Pluviosity.
That's correct.
In this clip, I was about 11 years old, and I just remember having so much fun on the set because up until this point, I had spent like a year just doing homeschooling after having spent, you know, time in regular school. So I was really missing being around kids my age, and I just remember having so much fun on set with actors that I was working with, and even the, you know, the background as well, because we just would have fun on set.
I'll go see if I can get us a cab.
Oh, I loved this outfit. I remember thinking,
Jimmy.
Thought that was you. What are you doing here?
Being stupid. Following you and Sienna.
oh no,
Why?
True.
Because I'm jealous.
No, you're not.
Oh,
Shouldn't you go inside?
I don't want to go anywhere.
I know you don't.
Don't you want to dance?
No, girl.
I can dance right here.
No! Go on and get your man. Nothing flats. Whew, so glad they're over.
She's pretty great. But she's not you.
And that's on period. No one shoot True. Yes! Now that was a little bit more older of a kiss. Oh my gosh, that was just so sweet. Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah, it's always weird because either you're too much of friends with somebody, or you actually do have a crush on somebody, or, you know, it's never, because too many people are watching and it's never real. It's all part of the gag. So it's awkward. But I remember feeling sweet about this because I had known Robbie for some years now, I think, by this time we did this episode. So, I mean, it was just like a sweet, nice thing, you know, with somebody that I considered a close friend. They make you do it, I mean, 20 times or more, depending on how many angles. I mean, with the sitcom, it's a lot easier because you already have 4 cameras. And so it's kind of like boom, boom. But I think we did it, you know, more than a handful of times. Everyone doesn't use mouthwash first. Sometimes you have people that are like really, you know, hey, it is what it is. Not every kiss is a great one, but I do remember kissing Robbie, and it was a good experience for me. Like, he's one of the best. He didn't want to know about any bad kisses. No. Well, it was this one time. I'm just kidding.
Bitch, motherfucker, usher is here.
Okay.
Usher, bitch!
You're searching for somebody that'll take you out and do you right.
I was really giving it my life. I can't even deal with it. I met Usher when I was about 10 years old or so, 10 or 11 years old. I was auditioning for a movie that he did that I can't think of the title right now of. But it was a movie that he was doing that I was gonna play like his next door neighbor. And so I remember going in the audition and reading with him. And it was so funny because, you know, we've seen each other so many different times since then, but never with me on stage giving him a, you know, a little strip moment. So we were both long laughing, thinking about, wow, you know, this is how we get to work together this time. The best part about being in Hustlers, I think it would have to be just all the different women that I got a chance to work with. I loved working with Constance, with Jennifer, with Lizzo, Cardi, Lily. I mean, everybody. I loved working with everyone on the movie. So it was just so fun to be around that many women and just to be also doing a comedy drama. The hardest part was definitely this time crunch and just this feeling of wanting to make sure we got everything done and also did it justice, you know. So I think, you know, that would have been the most difficult part, is the schedule of it all. You know, I wasn't afraid of the wardrobe or any, you know, malfunctions, which thank goodness we didn't have any. But, you know, I was looking forward to the moments that we got on stage. The scene that I was just watching with Usher, I remember just loving that scene because it was just so funny to, you know, I've been in the club when it's like, yo, the person comes in and we, you know what I mean, like, doing this whole thing, you know, throwing the money to the strippers or whatever. So for me to be on the receiving end of that, I'm like, okay, this feels kind of good too. So I was loving it. It was a fun experience. That's what acting is all about.
That I was exactly like him. Gonna make us that money.
You crazy, just like your mom.
Yeah, I know my bitches is bad, but if you keep staring at them like that, I'm about to just
so crazy.
Baby.
Yeah, I was really in it with this. I was really zoned. Working on Pimp was very intense like in terms of my workout regimen, the food that I was eating, for the type of physical appearance I was trying to uphold, as well as the mental, how taxing it was mentally, just with the subject matter and the storyline, the heaviness of the character and what she was going through and overcoming. So that was you know, more on the intense, more, you know, heavier type of work. I think it was important for me to take on the role because it was a character I'd never played before, but it was a character that I knew. A character that I feel like their story is often told as a supporting character, but very rarely as a leading character, and actually trying to understand and you know, just figure out somebody's life. You know, take a page, it's a page into someone else's world. And I wanted to honor that perspective or that world or a version of that with the movie. And so that's why I wanted to play it and just wanted to tell that Wednesday story. And then as far as the hardest part of filming it, it was the emotional aspect. You know, as an actor, you have to go there. You can't like pretend to go there, like halfway go there. If you're playing a role, you know, you have to really go there and feel the emotions that they're feeling in the moment. And it can be emotionally a lot to deal with. So I think that was the difficult part about the filming, is that I just had to stay in this very heavy space and mind frame. Everybody always wants to know about the crying. How do you get the tears to rolling? You as a kid, I used to imagine the worst thing I could possibly imagine. My mom and dad not being in my life, my grandmother dying, you know, things of that sort, because I had no real life experience to really go off of that would make me relate to, you know, the character's emotions in whatever way I was trying to display. But as I've gotten older, I've experienced enough to where I can just read about, you know, someone or the story or the character and immediately attach to the emotion of that scene.
Is that killer noises? I'm hallucinating.
Oh my gosh, I love that head wrap.
One more time. Will you speak up?
Is it a lawnmower? What's happening?
Oh my gosh.
This is nice neighborhood.
ridiculous. Oh no, I never practiced screaming. I have not practiced screaming, and it shows whenever I watch Scream Queens because my screaming face is not cute. I literally look horrified. When I was doing the screaming in Scream Queens, I would literally try to do it as if I was singing, like by using my diaphragm and actually taking power from the gut, because otherwise I think my throat would have worn out much quicker than it had. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Cosmo.